Welcome into the latest edition of Extra Time, a French feel to today's show. Frank is here in the house. How are you, Frank? How's your...
I'm very good, yeah.
So far?
And just the two of us today.
Beautiful. Yeah, indeed, just the two of us. But fear not, others are here. Nadem joins us, as does Gab. Jules, have you slept at all?
No, not really, no. Last night was quite wild, to be fair, after the... After the final, after work, after finding the children.
Beauty.
Yeah.
I won't lie, it felt really good. Thank you, Ned.
Yeah,
it felt really good.
Dan, I have a question because everybody's concerned. I received many phone calls. You know, did you change your shirt since yesterday, or is it still the same?
No, I slept with it, to be fair.
Oh my God, that's even worse.
With it today. I don't care.
Oh, Gab, you got to stick up with it.
No, I'll have another one tomorrow.
An Italian will never do that. An Italian will never do that.
No.
Never.
No, exactly. Gab, maybe you can answer a couple of questions for me. Was there anyone at the stadium who Jules didn't get tickets for yesterday?
Very few people, I must say. It's remarkable because, you know, when you walked around Munich, I don't know if Jules had the same impression, but obviously the proximity to Milan and whatever felt like maybe it was 65% people in Inter shirts, and then you get to the Allianz Arena and you run into all of Jules's friends and relatives from back home, from the banlieue, even things out.
Gab, I've been on Champions League final trips with you, and it's all about the meal before. Where was the go-to eatery in Munich for you?
Well, it's funny because for various reasons, I only arrived very late on Friday night, so my pre-match meal necessarily had to be brunch, and I had a very nice brunch at a hotel in central Munich with a bunch of people we all know, because they're the people who with Thierry Henry, he was there, and Jamie Carragher. Listen to me dropping Mika Richards.
Was Tom Cruise there breaking it down, Gab?
What's that?
Was Tom Cruise there?
Tom Cruise he may have been there, but I did not see him.
There we are.
But no, it was much more an in and out trip to Munich, and you know what? And it wasn't a disappointment. My plane back to London left at 7:20 in the morning. So, like Jules, I also didn't sleep very much, but for very different reasons.
It's not competition, right? Jules, was Mbappe leaving the best thing that's ever happened to PSG?
Well, we talked about it a little bit on the show. I don't know if it's the best thing that happened to them, but certainly Luis Enrique said when he left that he will make this team better without him. And that's exactly what he did. We will never know what would have happened had he stayed, but we certainly know what happened after he left. And this team is, for me, in 40 years of supporting the club, this is the best PSG team I've seen. I don't know about Frank, but the 90s team was great. The Ginola team and Ryan Weah's team. We had the Ibrahimovic team that was great. Right. The Mbappe team at times was very good. The team in the 80s with Safet Suzic was very good as well. But a team like this, I have not seen one.
Yeah, I have to share the first spot with the Rai, Ginola, Valdo, Ricardo's team. In the 90s, because they were absolutely fantastic, and when they won the Europa League with Djorkaeff as well, Bruno N'Gauti scored the goal. They had a very good time there, but that team is impressive, really, because they are young on top of it. They have a future. We can see those players for a decade, and the margin that they still have is huge. So when you win a Champions League, I'm concerned about that. When you win, it was like Thierry Henry, we were talking about him just before, and David Trezeguet winning the World Cup at 20 years old. How do you find it? How do you appreciate it? Is it normal? And for Désiré Doué or for some others like Mayulu scoring, winning the Champions League, how do you receive that? And how do you appreciate it? That's a very good question that I would ask to them and say, is it exceptional for you or is it normal? Because that's tricky. It's too young to appreciate. You don't have the experience to appreciate that, I think.
Gab, Luis Enrique's tactical and philosophical changes are a big part of the PSG story. Is this one of the greatest managerial performances we've ever seen in the modern Champions League?
I think in some ways, in the way he turned, in the way he turned the team around, you could certainly make the case. If your benchmark is, does he leave some sort of massive legacy of everybody going to now start copying Luis Enrique the way people tried to emulate Pep Guardiola back in or Arrigo Sacchi back in the day and whatnot? I don't think so. I think there's a certain environment at Paris Saint-Germain. I think Luis Enrique has a very specific skill set. I don't think somebody else can say, oh, look, let me study Paris Saint-Germain and their success and let me emulate this somewhere else. So if legacy or transportability to another context is part of your benchmark, then probably not. If winning over critics and through trial and error, through hard work, through charisma, and going ahead and beating Real Madrid and Arsenal and then entering one of the most one-sided finals ever, while also winning 2 other domestic trophies, while also having a shot at making a quadruple the Club World Cup, then he's certainly on his way.
Nedum, good evening.
Good evening.
Wirtz for 130 million or Cherki and Reinders for 105 million?
Cherki and Reinders for me.
Yeah, what a surprise.
I think, obviously, Florian Wirtz is...
Because Florian Wirtz turned you down.
But, well, I don't know about that. Wirtz is obviously a very, very good player, but I think if you could get 2 for a similar sort of price who could have that sort of potential, then yeah, you absolutely go for it, especially with Cherki being 21 years of age. That's a huge talent, and who's to say that in the future he can't be seen in the same way as a Florian Wirtz is right now? So I think I'd go for those 2, but to be talking about those 3 players itself is always good to have those sorts of options on the table.
Wow.
He's going to be a politician, mate.
Oh, yeah, he's very
100%
good. Very good.
One day. He'll be there. Gab, the Inter Milan squad is overdue for an overhaul. How many of Inter's starting 11 from yesterday do you think is going to be there next season?
Ooh, good question. So they all have contracts, and the old ones, as people know, when you're old and you make a lot of money, it's hard for you to move on. So I think if the question is how many of them are going to be starting for a successful Inter team next season, I would assume they're going to move on from Mkhitaryan, definitely. I think Çalhanoğlu's got another shot. Barella's got another shot. Acerbi, I would imagine, it's time for him to sort of fade into the background a little bit. Jan Sommer, I think they're gonna keep around. I mean, they like Joseph Martinez. There's they're obviously negotiating Sommer's extension. That's the big one. And then obviously Lautaro and Marcus Thuram, those guys are going to be back. So, guys, we can talk about how old this Inter team, and yes, they were the oldest team by weighted minutes in the Big 5 European leagues, blah, blah, blah. Let's also realize, though, that Jan Sommer, Mkhitaryan, and Acerbi raised the average age tremendously because those guys are actually really, really, really old. In terms of over 30s next season, if you take those 3 guys out, and I think it's really only going to be Çalhanoğlu in case or maybe Benjamin Pavard, but of course they have Jan Bissek for that position as well. So,
right, 6. 6 out of 11.
Yeah, I don't believe that.
No, people
I'm not really convinced.
I find people since yesterday, very harsh on Inter Milan. I mean,
they lost 5-0 in a final.
Yeah, the ending. I know the ending is important. In so many occasions, the ending is important. But in football, you have to see the whole season. I mean, they've been runner-up to every competition they've been on. It's not good because, like Arsenal, you win nothing. But I think you have to give credit to that team and what they've achieved this season. They've been good this season, and we keep
How many times have you seen Inter Milan play this season?
No, I saw them playing a lot in Champions League, for example, and in the Calcio. But really, you have to be a little bit more respectful towards what they've done.
Who do?
Me, I respect that, and Gab, I guess.
I mean, I think to be honest, everybody out there who has a bigger wage bill or comparable wage bill to Inter, and who watched this final on television. You want me to name names?
For
Tottenham
all.
Hotspur, Manchester United, Arsenal,
Oh,
Real Madrid,
exactly.
Barcelona. Hey, how did you guys enjoy the final? How did you do against Paris Saint-Germain?
Oh, dear.
I know. You either lost to Paris Saint-Germain or
Voilà.
you didn't get to play in the final.
I have another guy.
So put some respect on Inter's name.
Thank
I'm
you
with
very
Frank.
much, Gab. Thank you very much. It's like the Hawaiian pizza, you know, it's forbidden in Italy.
Right.
You know, respect has to be strong for Inter Milan. There's nothing to do, but whatever.
that-
I just
that
wanted to
analogy
put the,
didn't work.
I just wanted to put the Hawaiian pizza. That's disgusting.
Do you have Hawaiian pizza?
Never. It's like Gab. You don't do that. You don't go to restaurants with shorts and you don't eat Hawaiian pizza. That's a disgrace for
I'm going to
Italy.
do both tomorrow. I'm going to bring the Hawaiian pizza and shorts with me.
Oh, you might get the
Wherever I
pizza on your face.
Nathan, which team are you most excited about next season? Barcelona, PSG, or Real Madrid?
I think I'll go PSG, you know. I think for Real Madrid, obviously, going with a new manager is going to be exciting. Xabi Alonso, what style of football is he going to have them play?
You're not going to watch League One, though, are you? You're going to watch him in the league, are you? You won't be that excited, Nathan.
No, but like I am excited to see how they perform as reigning champions, because for them to try and regain their title again, the team's going to play them in a different way. They've been the hungry dog for such a long time, but now everybody's going to be going for you. For the level of performance by those teams is going to be different now. So I think given the praise that Luis Enrique has gotten, he rightly deserves, and the praise that the players have deserved, well, let's see, can they progress again? Or is it going to be a case of the pressure's maybe a bit different now? So I think I'm looking forward to seeing them. And for Barca, they're a great young side, and I think they'll do what they do, and they'll be exciting. Lamine Yamal, one of the best players in the world. But I think the PSG collective is something that probably suits my taste probably a bit more than the other two.
The correct answer is, of course, Real Madrid and Barcelona live and exclusive on ESPN+.
That's true. You can follow them. Yeah, no. Did he say Lamine Yamal is the best player in the world? That's what he said.
Yes.
That?
No, I don't think he did. No.
You say
No.
that? No,
No.
you didn't say that?
No.
I heard
No.
that. And I want to know,
I said
what
no.
it means,
No.
because during the
No.
show, Jules say Ousmane Dembélé is the best player in the world right now. No, it doesn't mean anything. I don't understand
Why?
those.
How do we... Look, I've ignored you all day on this.
Yeah, no, because I have the tendency to get upset, you know.
You can't be here every day taking this stand.
No, it's just, you know, how you compare a goalkeeper with a striker is what I mean. Doesn't mean anything.
We weren't going to get you involved in this conversation.
Okay,
That was it. You've
okay.
just thrown yourself... You're saying Burley's here. You can't help yourself.
Okay, that's right.
Right, that is it. Thank you very much, everyone. Congratulations, Jules. Of course, more from Jules tomorrow. Maybe wash that T-shirt.
Yeah,
before the
maybe.
Podcast. ESPN FC returns tomorrow. Me and Frank and Ali will be here.
Yes, Ali's back.
Ali's
He
back.
needed a day off from me.
Well, don't we all?